Ciara.
Hello.
So I'm VESHIA and I'm from SWANSEA Class, and now I'm going to tell you about loneliness. So first off, let me tell you about what is isolated means. So isolated means far away from other people and places. You can be isolated anywhere. Meanwhile, loneliness means an unpleasant feelings that affect the old one, young one, or maybe the others. And also, loneliness and isolated are almost the same one, but the difference is loneliness is only for physically. Even if people are physically around you, you will still feel lonely. Why? Because loneliness is a feeling that we can't control. And as I say, it is an unpleasant feeling. So that's why it is very normal to feel lonely, because loneliness is felt throughout life. Maybe every day we can feel lonely, or maybe almost every second. But it's fine, because being alone is just being yourself at the time. Maybe you are comfortable for being alone. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the factors. So first off, there's
First what?
first off,
First of all.
first of all,
Okay.
there's an identity change. So identity change means to the kids, to teenager. So people aged to 16 until 24 feels lonely more often, because it is because of the time when they grow up, and I don't think they even know where are their place. They don't know where to start, and they don't know about their world. Imagine you have to get a job at the age of 16. It is maybe hard for you, because I think most of the job will age to 18 or more, because maybe they don't want a young kid to work in there. Okay, so the second is unstable emotion. As you can see, that young people experience more lonely more often, and they can't regulate their own emotion. They are unstable, and they felt lonely more intensely. So that's why the third one is stereotype. So maybe I will tell you about the British stereotype first, and then the Indonesian stereotype. So the British one is most of women probably has a bad teeth. It means that they can't take care of themselves, and most of them probably also can't cook. Maybe because they are afraid of fire, or maybe they had a traumatized. But I think it is very normal for a woman who can cook and has a bad teeth. Why? Because I also have a bad teeth, and I see a lot of girls probably has a bad teeth too, like me. such as my sister, my mom, and also the one who can cook is almost the same like me, but probably woman can cook an egg or maybe a noodle. And then the Indonesian stereotype. So for women in Indonesia, people aged to 18 or maybe until 22 are forced to get married. Why? Because at that age they should be getting married, and if it's up to 22 and more, they will get called an old people because this is Indonesia and most of their parents want a child, so that's why. And then when you are married, most of women and most of wives are not working. Why? Because probably they are not allowed, or maybe they can only do chores. But now they can do anything, because woman is not only for doing chores and housework. They can be a boss, a job, a worker, an employee, or maybe more. And then when a woman gets married, the woman will feel alone. They have to face their own husband and their own time. Most of husband would work and most of the wife would just sit down and do chores. And of course, that's very boring. So that's why nowadays a wife can do anything. So I think that's all for now. Thank you.
Okay, hello Vesha.
Hi.
Tell me about the moment when you felt alone or lonely.
Well, I feel lonely when I am on my free time or maybe when I'm bored.
Why?
Because I don't know what to do. And somehow I don't have any friend.
But people can do whatever they want to do when they have free time. They can do their hobbies and their interest.
Yeah, and I only play my phone and I just scroll TikTok and yeah.
Why don't you find another new hobby, maybe can fill your free time, that one, to spend your time?
I don't know what kind of hobby that suits
Scratching? What is that name?
I'm afraid of needle.
Crocheting. Crocheting is not sharp, so they use the big needle with the sharp with the curve like this. Try to find it, okay?
But I don't have anything to do with that.
Just find another new hobby better, okay? Alright, later you show me and Mr. Oka your new hobby.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, how do you cope with your loneliness then?
Yay! So, I cope it by maybe you can do your hobbies on your free time, or maybe you have to socialize with your friends. Maybe you can talk about something else, you can share some stories, or maybe you can play with them.
How about you personally? I don't want to listen about the theory from you. I want to listen about you yourself.
How do I cope with loneliness?
You only share, you can do your new hobby and then you can talk with your friends. But the fact
I do none of them.
Nah, so how do you cope with your loneliness then?
I just listen to music, and maybe sometimes when I feel bored, I play
Play what?
Geometry Dash.
From the game?
Yes,
Phone?
offline.
Offline? I see. Okay, what is the connection between identity change and loneliness? And give me the example.
Identity change. I think. Pardon me?
What is the connection between that one? Identity change, that one.
Huh?
The connection between identity change and loneliness. And please give me the example.
So maybe the connection is that young people often feels more lonely, and of course it is because of identity change, and it also related to loneliness.
Yeah, give me the example. Young people's identity change, like what?
Such as a 16 years old person have to create their own world because they don't have a high school. What is SMA?
High school?
High school. So that's why they have to get a job to get a salary and to make money.
Do you think that it can make them feel lonely?
Yes,
Like how?
because I can say that most of them will have a hard time to speak with their friends or maybe with their own parents, because first of all they some of them don't want to be like direndahkan
Okay.
from their friends because they don't have a high school and the money.
Okay. Now please tell me about the technology.
Technology.
Is it correct that technology make people become more lonely?
It depends.
Like what?
So, in my opinion, technology such as phone, laptop, PC, or maybe others electronic device can only chat, typing, or maybe call them, but with online, with the digital, not in real life. So like we cannot communicate with them in the real life, and probably in the real life we will feel more awkward.
Okay, because of technology. Okay, is there any connection of loneliness with introverted person?
I can say yes, but I also can say no,
How?
because maybe introvert people always feels alone, or maybe some of them not, because I think introvert person are only feels introvert around their people because they can't socialize yet to them.
They cannot what?
They cannot socialize.
What is socialize?
Yeah, socialize to them. Yeah.
Then, if yes, if no,
If no, it's because It's because they have their own things, or maybe they really love to be alone.
Okay. All right. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mi.